Hey everyone, Paulie here from HardDrive Radio, and I'm delighted to be joined in the studio today by these fine fellows here, known as Skillet.
Thanks for having us.
It's great to have you guys here. You're very, very busy. You just kicked off a brand new leg of your tour. You're out with Alter Bridge right now. I think we're only about 2 days in at this point, so tell me, it's only been a day, but how's things going?
Horrible.
Let's fix that.
Yeah, no, it's going good. But yeah, first day is usually the day when if anything's going to suck, it's on the first day. But nothing sucked. Everything worked. Nobody got, blown up or anything. It was good. For people watching, if they ever want to see a band at their worst, you show up at the first day of the show and like the song ends and then like an explosion happens randomly or something that's not right. But nothing happened. It was good. We had a great time, and we've done a lot of dates in the past with Alter Bridge. First tour we've done with them, but we've done a lot of gigs, and so it's been good to be back with friends and with a good band.
For that first day, because I always hear the stories like, oh, the first day is like the worst day. You don't want to, have to do backstage stuff or do interviews on their first day because everyone's so busy. Like, what are the challenges that you guys face on that first show of getting everything down? Because I'm sure you've done rehearsals, you know what you're doing, and I'm sure everyone's keeping to their spot whenever the pyro goes off. But like, what are the real dangers of that first day? What kind of issues, challenges do you guys face?
I think that a lot of times when you're doing a new tour, you have new music, and a lot of what happens is is this the version of the song where we added those two measures in, or is this the one where we took the two measures out? And it's stuff like that, and everybody's freaking out. And as you go on stage, you're like, where am I? New York City. Okay, New York. But because there's so much in your mind, and you're going to play an older version or play we're gonna brand new songs for you guys tonight, and it's like the worst. It like goes really bad, and now it doesn't just go bad for one audience; it goes bad for everybody that's filming for YouTube. And then it's like, watch Skillet suck on new music. And
that never happens to us.
Yeah, cause we're always good.
We never mess up.
But it happens for other artists.
We've seen other people do that.
Yeah.
So, you guys just wrapped up a tour with Seven Dust.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yes, and I saw like so many great reviews and so many great films. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it out to that one. I really did because I love, Poppy and Devour the Day as well. And it was just a great lineup. I feel like you didn't get a lot of time off in between that and this, So like,
right?
Did you get any time to like go home and relax, or is it just work all the time?
What do we have, 4 days or something?
2 days, yeah. I don't know if it was 4. Was it?
Okay, my wife.
It's
not 4
2.
times.
That's generous. 2. Yeah.
Stop exaggerating to get what you want.
The boss is like, you have 4 whole days.
I don't know. We went on for 2 days is what she says, which means that's truth. And then we had some other gigs in between, and then we came back for another day or two. So it wasn't much time, but that's what it's supposed to be like. You release a record, I'm ready to play, I'm ready to tour. More shows, more fans, make some fans happy. You know what I'm saying? But
Absolutely,
it was a great tour. Seven Dust, of course, is a legend.
Yeah.
For people that watching that want to know what bands are go through backstage, if you go and play like a festival, Rock on the Range or something like that, and you're hanging out backstage with a bunch of bands, at some point somebody will be like, oh, dude, Seven Dust just started, and all the bands run out to watch Seven Dust. They're a band's band. They're a band that everybody wants to watch. Pop Evil, great friends of ours. I think this is our third tour with Pop Evil.
Yeah, maybe so.
Oh, excuse me, was our third tour. Great people, great friends. It was just the whole night was wonderful, as you said.
So the brand new album, it's been about 2 months since Victorious came out now. What kind of reactions are you getting from the fans? What are you seeing at the live shows? Are people singing the lyrics back to you? What's the feedback you're getting on that?
Right. Well, it's like, this is what I always say. You always know from your hardcore fans, because they're the ones that always tweet you. Like every time you send a tweet like, hanging out at HardDrive, and they'll be like, hope it's fun. You always, or whatever, or they said something clever like, oh, how was it hard? Hard drive, was the drive
like
hard?
We never heard that one before.
Yeah. All those, they're the ones that tweet you back. Those are the hardcore fans. And if you release a record they don't like, they're the first ones like, didn't try very much on this one, huh? They're always the ones. But our fans are so faithful, and so they're always supportive. But night number 1, the album came out. We were sitting.
It's
in
like
our
the
bed.
honesty of family,
Yeah.
Like your mom's going to tell you more than what a friend would.
Your mom's gonna tell you.
Like, this record's not good. They'll tell you that.
Yeah, but night number 1, we were sitting in bed. We're like, the record just released, and we're looking on Twitter, and all the people are like best records you've done in years. My favorite record since Awake. My favorite songs are this. People are really happy, and so I said to her, I was like, we can go to sleep easy because the hardcore fans are happy, and if you get the hardcore fans, that's really that's what it's all about, making them happy.
Does that kind of feedback affect the amount of new songs that make it into the live set list?
If everybody hates the new record, you're like, well, I'm playing crap from that album.
Let's move on fast.
He's basically saying, no.
Well, you guys have been
course.
working on these songs for months. I'm sure you're very proud of them. You love the music that you make, and you want to play that.
Totally,
but
yeah.
if you're hearing back from fans like, oh, I don't really like this song, does that kind of influence
it's
your
like
opinion
the fact
of it?
that everybody thinks their baby's cute. But we've seen some ugly babies, right? When you're like, oh, don't look at it. Don't look it right in the face. Don't look. It's true. It's all eczema and everything.
Oh my gosh.
You know it's true, honey. Babies are not all that
acne.
pretty. I know. Well, that's very PC. You're right. But my point is that not every baby is pretty.
It's true.
Anyhow, they all have intrinsic value, but they're not all wonderful to look
And
at.
they might develop into something, but starting
really-
off,
Oh, she's so nice. I think they might, but they're probably not gonna.
Aw.
Anyway, just joking. Anyway, my point is this. Not every baby's pretty and not every song is good. And yes, if all of a sudden we're like, hey, the fans really hate the record, then I guess you play less new tunes. But luckily the fans like the record and we're playing a whole bunch of new music. Mm-hmm. And so far, we're not seeing tweets saying stop playing new songs. Don't send me those yet.
No, don't send those, please.
No, you can keep that craps to yourself.
On that note, have you ever had an ugly baby situation where there was a song that you really loved and fans were like, we're really not feeling this one?
Yeah, probably so, actually. I don't know if I want to call any out because people will be like, I like that one. What do you mean? I don't want to call them out, do I? But
Let's relitigate this. Come on.
Yeah, but if we were to have a song like that, it would not be one that I wrote. It'd be one that... It'd be one she wrote for sure.
Just right under the bus.
All of my babies are pretty. None of mine have acne. No.
This is the thing I love about this band. You guys are just like so awesome and amazing together. It's like a big family, and it's always a good time hanging out. We love having you guys on the show all the time, so it's always great. Coming up for you guys, I know you've got this big run ahead of you with Alter Bridge. What do you got looking at for 2020? Anything big planned so far?
2020 is, we're working on it now. So nothing I can announce, unfortunately. After this tour with Alter Bridge, we go to Europe for about 6 weeks. And that's in November and December. So we're not home again until December 16th, in which at that point we have 11 days off.
Yes.
and then we start playing again. But it's 11 days. It'll take us like 10 days to get acclimated to time zone, and we have one great day for Christmas. Anyway, or actually that would be called Boxing Day in England, where she's from. And that is not about boxing like Americans think.
And I always thought that was, too.
So did I. I'm like, well, they really must love their boxing, but it's not. You want to tell them what Boxing
Jen, tell
Day
us
is?
about Boxing Day.
Boxing Day, I actually don't know why it's called Boxing Day.
I do.
Why?
How come I know more about England than you?
Because you
She
study
moved over here
history
when she was
all
a
the time.
Well, they call it
All
Boxing
I
Day
know-
because what they do is they box up all of their leftover food. They box it all up to give it to the poor. So they
Are
call
you
it.
making this up?
No.
Well, he
Nice.
knows a lot more about English history than I. I was
my
just like,
God.
If you're lying, we'll hear about it in the comments on
It
this.
was something like- yeah.
the panheads will let us know.
Basically, the short version is acne baby. No, I'm kidding. We all know who the. We all know that's not Jen. She looks like an angel. It's true. She looks like an angel.
And that's why you hide her behind the drums so she won't distract from you.
I don't. We can't have her. We can't have her being prettier than me on stage.
Right.
You know.
We all know who runs this.
Yeah,
boat.
yeah. That's right. It's all good.
Speaking of the holidays and Christmas, do you guys have any like great Christmas traditions that you do every year that you might want to tell us about?
Awesome Christmas traditions.
Oh, yeah?
Boxing Day. we box. We hit each other. No,
American version.
Yeah.
My money's on Seth. He looks like he's got the best reach, man.
He does have good reach.
That's
I
long
watch
arms.
Christmas Story like for 24 hours straight because they run it over and over and over. So.
Sometimes you go home.
Yeah, I try and go back to England. All my family still lives there, so I usually go there for about 10 days.
But on your best Christmases, what do you do?
Hang out with us.
Question.
Dude,
Hey, come
when
to
I'm
our
in
house.
America and we don't have time to fly me home, I come hang out with the Coopers. and
Cookies,
it's wonderful.
movies,
Corey's an
cookies,
incredible cook.
movies.
Yeah, she
Oh,
makes
Korey
tons
honestly
of.
could do a bake-off. for
Seriously,
sure.
it's like time to get fat at the Cooper's house at Christmas.
Well, you
right?
have a short window where you can get fat, then you have to lose it all because you have a show
Actually,
coming
we
up.
have, we have
You
10
have like
days.
5 days to get fat and 5 days to lose it because you have a
Yeah.
show.
It's a lot of pressure, actually.
I don't even.
It is.
I
You
don't
gotta
even
time
try
it
to
right.
lose it for that first show.
Yeah,
I
that
just
first
go on
show back,
stage
I'm
like, put my belt on. I'm like, and I'm telling you, man, it hurts. 3 songs in, I'm just like,
You're just dying, totally.
what's
I'm like-
wrong with me? And I've got like, honestly, man, I'm like sweating out. I'm sweating out like sugar and salt from
Christmas
cookies,
miracle.
from sodium. But what we do, we watch all the Lord of the Rings films with the kids.
Yes.
Because usually a Christmas season is the only guaranteed time off we have every year. So we usually have a 2-week period, and we do all the Lord of the Rings stuff, and then about 2 days before Christmas we start. Basically, we don't move off the couch for like 8 days.
Yeah, because you never get to do it.
Yeah,
It's like
we.
the
I put a
time.
catheter in, and I'm just like, give me some cookies. Yeah, it's pretty bold.
Since we talked about
It's not a white Christmas.
TMI,
getting
man.
back in shape for tour, do you guys have like a fitness regimen for staying in shape on the road? Because it's a lot of work, and it's hard being there on stage and
These guys
busting
are
your ass.
totally ripped. They're
Yeah?
gonna downplay it, but they're so hardcore,
Flex
and
for
I'm
us,
proud
come
of
on.
them. Yeah,
Flex a little.
bring it.
No,
Tell them what
I
you
don't
do.
wanna be- I don't want to be that guy.
Tell them what you do. Yeah.
We're pretty serious about that.
Well, we're old and they're
we're
not.
not old. We're like
So-
29-ish. We're 30-ish.
We have to be a little more disciplined in our lives, but yes.
Can you imagine Seth putting 30 pounds? He'd be one of those guys only with the gut. You know what I mean? But
He'd
like,
be skinny
legs-
belly guy.
legs
skinny
twitch.
belly.
anyway, go ahead, Korey. I interrupted
Oh,
you with a
you're
great
good.
story
You go
about
on with the
that.
routines. Well, we don't eat very much in general, and we work out a lot.
Yeah, well, it's great now because they create these things. All right, it's called the internet, and so
Really, tell me more.
yeah, you can do workout videos from like apps and things like that. And it's really great now. There's so many great workout things like on Beachbody, like T25, the Insanity, all that stuff. And all you get, you carry it around with you. And sometimes you look dumb doing it in front of people. When we toured with Nickelback in Europe, I'm just name dropping. When we toured with,
They're old friends.
it's
This whole thing.
yeah. But we did a tour over there, and I remember because the way the dressing rooms were, we all had one dressing room, everybody being there, and I would be in there working out, and sometimes there wasn't room, so I would go out in the hallway and I would just do like a workout, right? And people think you're really stupid, but I'd rather be ripped and stupid than whatever the opposite of those things are.
Cool and fat.
I don't think you can. I don't think you can be in a band and really worry about what other people think.
Yeah, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
I look stupid working out, but otherwise I'm not going to make it through the show.
Yeah, it's like
You
a
know?
lead singer gift to not care too much.
You
You're
kinda-
really
you
good at
ca-
that.
There has to be
yeah.
a little measure
Because
of.
he sweats on people, so you're
Yeah.
walking past him in the hallway. Like,
He's like dripping.
It's disgusting. Yeah, I
sweat in my eye.
It's a sweating problem.
Everyone's like, "Don't go down that
It's-
corridor."
Just rip off the shirt and helicopter around and shower everybody.
Oh yeah, that's bad.
It's true.
So you guys have, in addition to all the work you've done on the album and you're touring your butts off, you also have a graphic novel coming out as well.
Yes, out,
Out.
and it is
Yes,
sick.
It is out now.
It is out. Yeah.
So tell us about it, and how did you even get started on that?
All right. Yeah, the book is called Eden. I love comic books. I grew up with comic books, and it was always a dream of mine. When I was growing up, like Kiss had comic books, and Alice Cooper, and it's, to me, it was always kind of like it was kind of cool to think of rock stars as characters, and I kind of always liked that. And so I always kind of dreamt one day I'll do a Skillet comic book, but there's nothing cheesier than a cheesy comic book. So it's like you're either going to do something awesome or you're going to be totally lame. So I always just put it on the back burner, but I got a call from a company called Z2 Comics, and they said, hey, I know you love comic books. Have you ever thought about doing something, a graphic novel? I said, yeah, I'd love to. So I got some stories. So it just kind of started like that. And I wrote a concept for the story and the themes I wanted to say. And we started talking to artists, which was really cool because there's, art is so diverse, and a million different ways you can go with art. And the way that you see art kind of makes you interpret what the story is going to feel like. So that was cool for me, getting to do something I've never done before, understanding what kind of graphic artist would be good for the story. And the story is kind of science fiction, a little bit futuresque. I would say things like Hunger Games meets Walking Dead meets, Blade Runner and things like that. So it's a cool book. It's a little bit spiritual in the way that maybe Dune or Blade Runner might be for people that like science fiction. So that's kind of the idea of the book. It's super cool. It's called Eden. It's out on Amazon, and I don't know. I hope people love it. It's quite cool, actually.
And what's really cool is like everybody in the band is a character in the book as well. Did you guys have any input in like what you wanted your characters to be like, or?
No, but it's pretty amazing because first of all, he didn't say that he kind of wrote the premise. Like he came up with the whole idea and was always like throwing out more really amazing. He's definitely going to be a writer in the future, I think. But that was what was really special for us is we kept getting like new drafts of the script or like reading every new chapter. And it's like we'd all kind of see ourselves, like our actual personality traits in the characters, even though John didn't tell the writers what we're like. So I feel like there was so many times that we'd all be sitting at dinner and then he'd read the new chapter and like we're weirdly moved because you're like, oh my gosh, doesn't that sound totally like Korey or doesn't that sound totally like Jen? And I feel like it was actually strangely moving and really like a special experience for all of us to have it kind of end up really representing us in a way none of us could have imagined,
Yeah, it was really fascinating as the whole thing was coming together because we're all in the book, but we're not Skillet. We're not musicians and we don't know each other. Me and Korey are married. So it's really cool because the book very much feels like Skillet. It has this kind of community feeling to it, and it's about something that matters. And a lot of our fans were like, I wasn't expecting, there's a lot of action, but a lot of our fans have tweeted, I wasn't expecting this to be emotional. It's kind of quite an emotional story. So it was a lot of fun.
And you actually released a song in combination with that as well. Tell us about that song.
Yeah, that came later because I was thinking, man, I really want to do something special for the fans that's not asking them to buy another thing. So after the book was on sale, people were pre-ordering it, whatever we announced, that for everybody who has bought the book or will buy the book, every book comes with a free download of the song, which is called Dreaming of Eden, which was written for the book. So it's not like a song that we just gave away with it. It's written about the story and for the book. And it's a little bit kind of my personal philosophy in life, which would be very much influenced by my, I guess, theology in life. But that philosophy in general would be that all of us humans are kind of wanting to go back to a simpler time. Almost, again, whether you're a spiritual, religious person or not, this idea of the Garden of Eden and that Adam and Eve ate of this fruit they weren't supposed to, and then sin came in the world. We want to get back to a time without the violence, before we created the atom bomb, before the bigotry, before, is there a way to get back to a simpler time? And maybe we don't screw it up this time. So that's kind of what the book is about. That's what the song is about. So it's actually quite special. One of my favorite things I've ever done was Skillet. I never imagined I would like the book so much. So,
well, on that note, I'm always very excited about the art that you guys make. Your music is always amazing. I'm glad you're branching out into comics as well, and maybe a bad precedent to set, but maybe more new songs with each future issue of the comic. Or
I think that'd be a good idea.
I think it would be.
Come on, baby.
You may want to, you may regret the workload, but I think it would be cool.
He doesn't need days off. We're fine.
Yeah. I've got 11 coming up. I can knock it out.
Yeah, you could write a whole album in that
can
time.
do it.
Yeah, easily. Actually could.
Ladies and gentlemen, Skillet, thank you very much for coming
Thanks
today.
for having
I
us,
loved
man.
it.